Do you oppose the use of criminal contempt charges against people who refuse to testify before Congress?
No, we've used it. I mean, we contempt Lois Lerner after a year of hearings and investigation.
You sure did, didn't you? You said the U.S. attorney had a legal duty to go to the grand jury, didn't you?
Well, it says shall. When the Congress voted for contempt, it says shall go to the grand jury. That U.S. attorney didn't.
That's right. And you also said the U.S. attorney unilaterally decided to ignore the will of the House of Representatives.
It's true.
You said Mr. Manchin was legally bound to convene a grand jury, but indeed he ignored his obligation and unilaterally decided to ignore the will of the House of Representatives. Don't you think it's important that when we're exercising our Article I powers to get the evidence we need in order to legislate, that people obey the subpoenas of the United States House of Representatives? You used to believe that, Mr. Jordan. Do you no longer believe that?
Once a legitimate investigation, sure.
All right.
Sure.
In 2012, the Oversight Committee approved a resolution holding Attorney General Holder in contempt of Congress. Do you remember that one?
Say it again. I was thinking how I was going to elaborate on the answer when you cut me off to ask me the question again, please.
Well, continue, Mr. Jordan, because everybody's always violating your rights, so I'm going to give you all the time you want.
No one's violating my rights.
Okay. Well, look, let me remind you what you said when Attorney General Holder was held in criminal contempt of Congress. We simply want the facts, because Attorney General Eric Holder will not provide what the law requires. We are left with no other option except to hold him in contempt. We're doing the exact same thing, Mr. Jordan, with all the bluster about the border and all the other nonsense you're talking about, Russia and everything. We are holding him in contempt for violating a subpoena of the United States House of Representatives.
There wasn't some special select committee that Republicans were not permitted to serve on that issued those subpoenas. That's not the case.
All right, well, let's close with this. Mr. Jordan, why did you vote against the commission of 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats equals subpoena power? Why did you oppose that? Are you also not interested in what happened to us on January 6th?
Of course, everyone is interested in holding people accountable who did wrong. The FBI is doing that. The Justice Department is doing that appropriately. So what I'm not interested in.
So why did you have all those Benghazi investigations if you don't think Congress should be investigating?
Because Hillary Clinton misled the American people.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back to you. I yield back to you, Mr. Chairman.
If you want to...
The chamber was charged with an electric tension as Representative Matt Gaetz took the floor, clearly aiming to dismantle the credibility of the expert witnesses assembled for the Lessons from the Mueller Report hearing. Gaetz, known for his aggressive questioning style, began with a theatrical challenge, asking the witnesses to raise their hands if they possessed personal knowledge regarding the truth or falsity of a single material fact in the report. When no hands went up, he attempted to frame the entire hearing as a series of hot takes from individuals who were merely reading a document rather than participating in the investigation. The air grew thick with political maneuvering as Gaetz then pivoted sharply, attempting to hijack the hearing's focus toward the southern border, hoping to catch Georgetown professor and national security analyst Carrie Cordero in a gotcha moment using an essay she had written years prior. However, the strategy backfired in spectacular fashion. Cordero, unfazed by the pivot, delivered a response that sliced through Gaetz's narrative like a scalpel. While acknowledging the challenges at the border, she pointedly noted that her extensive research never once suggested a wall as a viable solution, nor did it support the use of emergency authorities, the very pillars of the administration Gaetz was trying to defend. The crowd erupted into laughter as Gaetz's attempt to rope an expert into his political theater left him visibly frustrated and on the defensive. The script highlights not just a failed interrogation, but a broader battle over the Mueller investigation's findings, which detailed 10 instances of obstruction of justice and extensive cooperation between the Trump campaign and Russian officials. Ultimately, the hearing underscored the critical role of expert testimony in informing Congress, even as partisan efforts sought to distort the law and bury the truth.